Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Desiree Sessions, and it is a pleasure to have you come and sit and chat with me. Today we're going to talk about something a little heavy, so relax, relax. Feel free to comment. I want you to like this video, share this video, post it on Facebook, Instagram, wherever you feel like it could encourage somebody, because I know it will. You saw the title of the video, When God Says No. Rough one. It was rough. And I wanted to share a little bit of my personal story so that you could be encouraged. That's what this all is about. So let's start from the beginning. So I'm a single person, a single woman, and I thought I would try online dating. So I went on a platform. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say. It was Hinge. I went on Hinge and I met this guy. I met plenty of guys, child. Let me tell you that. I met plenty of them. But again, I'm a Christian. I'm abstinent. I have a daughter. And so I have to really maintain and be very, very, very peculiar and particular, about what I do. So I met a few guys, but this guy, this guy was particularly remarkable. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He was 6'1", right, 6'1", Ethiopian, all my type, big dimples, a genius. I'm not saying genius like, oh, he's a genius. No, I mean certifiable, most likely genius. And just like, all around, to me, he was abstinent as well. He was saved as well, no children, doing well, like living his life, like happy, has joy, and all those things are so important to me. In theory, he had everything that I wanted in a man. He served at his church. I mean, come on, I'm just not gonna keep talking about it because it's about to make me upset. Whew. So I met this guy, right, and he was everything I wanted. The long list I have in my phone about what I want in a husband, he was. So I met him, and pretty much our first conversation, it was a go. Like, first combo. Hilarious. Literally, absolutely hilarious, which is one of my pillars of what I need in a person. I don't like somebody too stuffy. So made me laugh, and we talked for a while. Our first conversation, I was like, after I got off the phone, I was like, is that my husband? From there, I know that's weird, but you just gotta experience it to know. We had an instant connection, instant chemistry, and it was great. It was great. So I began to talk to him more and more often. That's how it goes, right? We're talking to him more and more often. And he's telling me the same stuff, like, hey, I'm really feeling you. Like, I know this is soon, I know it's premature, but I really like you. And we started making plans, like, okay, so we going to Hawaii this day, we doing this time. And I'm just like, this is too good to be true. It's everything I wanted. This has to be God, like God wants me to be with this person. I know that he has a calling on my life. I know that he wants me to be with someone specific. So I'm mindful of that, but this guy seemed to check all the boxes. He was willing to do everything I needed to feel safe, to feel comfortable. He was vulnerable with me. I was vulnerable with him, and everything just aligned. So I know you're probably getting where this is going, and it's a little stressful to talk about, but I'm gonna be an open book so someone could be encouraged, right? So, he's fine, all right? He was fine, but more than that, he became a friend to me, and I don't have many friends. And so one night I went, and as I always do before I do something or jump into something, I prayed to God and just asked God, like, hey, God, is this for me? Because I really, really, really don't want to be outside your will. It's so important for me to live for you, to breathe for you, to die for you. Like, I have to do things that line up with you. I wish I never prayed that prayer, because while I was sleeping, I had 3 different dreams. I can't go into it because if you're not a dreamer, you wouldn't understand. But in reality, sometimes there are some people who could dream, and if you're not listening to God, He's giving you signs outside of dreams. If you're not listening to those signs, He will inject His thoughts into a dream. I don't know if that's too deep for you, but that's kind of how it works. He sends very important and very pivotal messages by means of dreams. It's all throughout the Bible. It doesn't have to be because you're disobedient. It could be just because you're distracted, or just because that's the way He communicates with you. But I know for me, if I turn my ears off to God, which I do sometimes, not because I don't love Him, but because I have my own stuff going on. And it's wrong, I know, I'm working on it. But I kind of was just so enthralled by this gentleman that I wasn't really listening. And so when he came to me in a dream, I knew. I was like, okay, not only was it 1 dream, not 2, but it was 3. And so it was a series of dreams as I went to bed. It was like a movie that played out in front of my eyes, like a big movie screen. And when I woke up, I recalled the dream perfectly. I wrote it down, the dreams perfectly. I wrote it down. In theory, the Lord was like, listen, this is not the person for you. And I'm just like, why? It doesn't make sense. Like, He has everything I want, everything I need, everything I desire in a husband. Like, why? Like, I don't know what happened after that. When God told me no about this gentleman, I kind of like spiraled out a little bit. I crashed out. Yeah, I'm getting the slang. I crashed out. I really crashed out. Because I was like, God, I've been serving you. Look, I'm abstinent, Jesus. There ain't nobody touching me. Ain't nobody kissing on me. Ain't nobody holding my hand, Lord. You know that's the kind of stuff we need. But not only that, like the stimulating conversations, the security that He brought, the peace that He brought me, the joy that He brought me. He matched me in every level. And I was just like, I don't get it. So I was upset. I was praying, I was crying. I was like, God, I gave you everything. Like, I gave you everything that I could. You know, I gave you my life. You know, I sacrificed everything, my money, my time, my thoughts, my desires. I gave you everything. You know what I mean? So I know it's like, I was pretty much throwing a temper tantrum. Pretty much. I just gotta be real. I gotta be real so that you guys could understand how serious it was for me, because I really thought this was the one. And so a few days went by. Well, actually, to go back, I felt the need to call him and tell him my dreams, and I felt the need to. It wasn't like I was like, oh, let me just tell him and ghost him. I couldn't do it. I felt like he would understand as a believer. I felt like he deserved to know exactly why I had to move on. And lastly, it's like he deserves that respect. So however you may feel about it, he deserves that. So I called him up, and I felt the Holy Spirit really like pushing me. You need to tell him. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna tell him. So I called him and I told him. And you know what he said? He was like, you know what? In my own words, he was like, I know that you hear from God, and you know, I want to reverence that. And I was just like, oh God. Oh my God. He's sweet, smart, just a genius, loving, kind, like well-traveled. Like, he's been like all these countries, girl. And had the nerve to respond to me in that way that was just indicative of a servant leader. It messed me up even more, because I kind of expected him to be upset, or I expected him to be like, oh, you know, just a little bit of I don't know, maybe some aggression, I'm not sure. But for him to respond so sweet, it just threw me off. So I was like, oh no, I'm tripping. This can't be what God wants for me. I must be just out of fear. I must be trying to run because I met a good guy. And so I went back in prayer again. And I can't go into all of it because it's very spiritual and I don't want to scare anybody off that's not as spiritual. But I had spiritual like ways to tell me like God was still trying to give me the hints like, hey, I kind of told you no. Like I told you no. Like he kept kind of closed the door in my face really. And so I kept trying to tell this gentleman like, listen, God's saying no, God's saying no. He's like, listen, I know what he's saying, but can we just meet up because I gotta see you? And I'm like, listen, I want to see you too. Okay, this is just, I gotta be real. Gotta say what it is. So we made plans to meet up, and I kept going back and forth with it in my spirit. Like if I meet up with him, I know what's gonna happen. It doesn't have to be some type of sexual thing, but it could be like we get super connected and we become inseparable. That is what I thought was gonna happen. I just knew it. I'm like, I like this guy too much. I know if I saw him again, that we would get into some trouble with God, and I can't do that. So I said, eventually, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go. So I was like, I'm gonna come see you. That was the plan. It just seemed like once I said that, everything would kept getting weird. Like I tried to make plans to do this and this thing would happen. I tried to make plans to do that and this thing would happen. And I'm just like, that's strange. Like, so eventually I was like, I'm gonna come, I'm still gonna go. I changed up my whole plan, changed up my day just to make sure I could go see him. So the night before I was supposed to go see him, I actually talked to my pastor in detail about this. Like, Pastor, I need some guidance because I'm confused. Like, God's pretty much closing the door in my face on a gentleman that I really like. And she was like, well, she started telling me like, okay, well, what's the problem? Like, she was like, are you tripping? She was trying to gauge. And then eventually she was like, listen, based on what you said, if God told you no, that's it. Like, I don't know what you're calling me for. She said, you could be friends with him if you think you can handle it, but that's it. So I also told him that. I'm like, listen, I've been talking to everybody. My mama, I talked to my pastor, I talked to my sister, I talked to my friends. Well, I only got like 1 or 2 friends, but I talked to them. And they all was telling me like, you know, try to be friends with them, see where it goes. And I'm like, listen, I can't be friends with this man because I want him. That's it. Like, I'm just trying to be real. Like, I want this guy. I want him in my life. And I don't want him in my life as a friend. And that's what I told him. And so he was like, let's just be friends, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, I don't want to friend you. I want you to be my man. So, long story short, he says, I told him I was initially going to come for sure. After that, I went to sleep and I was like, I know I shouldn't do this. I know I shouldn't do it. I know I shouldn't do it. And I texted him next morning. I said, hey, I can't come. And I know you understand, and I know it's gonna hurt you, but I can't come. And he said, I understand. And so it's still a lot going on. I'm still very, very upset about it. But when I prayed about it, God really comforted me. He really did. And this is the reason why I made this video, because I wanted to encourage you. There is always a reason why God says no. Always a reason. I'm telling you. Even for the hard stuff. Even for the stuff that's just like makes God look kind of like a monster. I know that's wild. Like, God, why would you, look, I asked you to heal this person and they died, or why would I need that job, God, and you closed that door? Like, you know, I'm my last dollar. Sometimes, based off our human understanding, God can be portrayed as some evil character. Really, he's like any father. Any father would do the things that he's doing. For me personally, if this guy isn't for me, God needs me to understand that. And if I were to go around him, which is what the dream that I saw, if I wanted to circumvent God, it would end up in me spiritually being in some trouble. And you got 2 options here. You could either be Jesus, follow Jesus' path, right? He's the blueprint. And we can't be perfect. We're not Jesus, but we're trying to emulate him. We could do it that way. We could go throughout life with challenges, with issues, with hunger, with pain, with the ability to have bitterness but decide not to. We could go that route and be kind of uplifted by him, or we could be like the prodigal son. You could do that. This is what God gave me. You have two options like this. You could be like the son of man. You could be like Jesus, or you could be like the prodigal son. You can have everything you need, but because you want what you want for a season, you then go and circumvent God, only to have to go through so much just to get back what was already yours. And when he told me that, I was like, okay, you know what? Like I'm still a little upset, but I get it. I get it. The intention is that the no at first is painful. It's like a knife. And he keeps on twisting it, it feels like, because it's like, God, he's just so funny and so cute and so loving. But also, it's like, Desiree, I know the plans and the thoughts I have toward you. Thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you an expected end. The things I pray for, God knows how to orchestrate them out. I don't know what's best for me all the time. I don't know. He knows what's best. I don't know what's best for you. He knows what's best, right? So if you have two ways you could go about it. You can do the easy way or the hard way. Either way, it's up to you. Either way, it's up to you. So long story short, the guy and I'm going to keep praying that God will soften this blow that it took to my heart. But for right now, I'm good. I'm good on dating. I'm good on all that, because this one really messed me up. You know what I mean? And I wasn't being disobedient. I wasn't, I didn't, have sex with the guy or nothing like that. I didn't do anything. I just was just trying to date and see what I liked. And I've stumbled upon a wonderful man. And God told me no. And it felt unfair. And so I just wanted to encourage you that if God is telling you no today, it's because your tomorrow, he's telling you no for your tomorrow. That's what it's for. It's not for your today. It's for your tomorrow. He's trying to, it don't got to be save you from danger. It don't got to be that. But if he has a plan for you, he's going to make sure that he lines up the things that you need. And so when we fight against that, which is what I did, when we fight against that, he's like, hey, you could take him if you want. He's a good guy. But maybe he's not exactly what I have for you, because who knows, in 2 months, I could move to New York. I could decide, take me and my baby to New York and be with him and I have a good life. True. But what if he wants me to go to Texas? What if he wants me to be a pastor over there? And I just missed out on thousands of people that he wanted me to minister to, because I wanted to do what I wanted to do. So this video was just to encourage somebody that the no is not for today. The no is for tomorrow. And he is with you, especially for people who are single, especially for people who are like me. I know I was born to be a wife. I wasn't made to be doing all this. I know that. And it's for the men too. The men who are, trying to redefine themselves. They could be great husbands. Be encouraged. Or for people who maybe are not even dating, people who are waiting on a new job, a new car, waiting on friendships, waiting on their businesses to thrive. It's like those doors close in your face so often, you just start to think, is this just me? Like, does God hate me? It's like, no, he loves you. And that's why he closes doors, so he could save you and he could move you to the side. Then he goes around the back of that closed door and builds up your future. And so when the door is ready to open, it'll be all prepared for you. That's what he's trying to do. So I hope I encourage somebody today. I hope people are able to get something from this video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share. It is so important. Make sure you follow me on my social channels. All of them are the same. It spells Desire Sessions, DesireSessions. Thank you guys.